Okay, today we're going to be looking at a new way to subtract and a new way to solve subtraction problems, and that's going to be through comparing two numbers. Now, when we compare, we're looking at the difference or what is different about the two numbers. Now, before you have a picture of a lion and a picture of a bear. And if we were to compare these two animals, we would be looking at what is the difference between them. So we can obviously see the bear has more fur, the bear has darker fur, the lion has a bigger head and this mane around its neck that the bear doesn't have. The bear's got a skinny, thin nose while the lion has this big nose. So we're looking at what differences are. So here we have fish A, that's 14 inches long, and fish B, that is 6 inches long. And what we want to do is we want to see how they are different. And that difference is going to be our answer. So see if you can think about that difference in your head right now. How much longer is fish A at 14 inches than fish B at 6 inches? And today we're going to learn a new graphic organizer to help us with that. But if we were solving this problem and we were working in our cubes, we would first want to make sure we circle the 14 and the 6 and underline how much longer so that way we would know. Now, when we look at a comparison diagram, we're looking at this difference here. So here was fish B at 6 inches, and here was fish A at 14 inches, and now this length right here is the difference. But how can we figure that out with just numbers? Well, today we're going to learn about the comparison diagram. Now this is the comparison diagram. It's got a place where you write two quantities and then you find the difference. Now, fish A is 14. It has a higher number than fish B. When we're solving a problem like this, we want to write our larger quantity at the top. We want to write our smaller quantity at the bottom. And we're almost making a part-part total diagram, except for we are looking for this missing part, which would be the difference. So this would make this a subtraction problem. So you get 14 minus 6 gives me question mark. Or we could do 6 plus question mark gives me 14. So that is how this difference works. And when we look at that difference, 6 minus 14, we would obviously get 8. Now, we can do this with other things. Joey scored 30 points. Max scored 10 points. How many more points did Joey score than Max? Well, here is our diagram. Remember, I'm going to put my higher number at the top. So that's 30 in that quantity. My lower number, which is 10 here, goes in this quantity. And I'm looking for the difference between them. Well, 30 minus 10 is equal to question mark. And when I find that question mark out, I find that it is 20. So I'm working on comparing numbers by looking at what's the amount between them? What is the difference? What would it take to get from one to the next? And that's what subtraction is. How many steps to the next one? How many leaps do I have to take? What's the difference? Let's take a look at another one. Nan is 55 inches tall. Mandy is 40 inches tall. Who is shorter? How much shorter? Well, this is a two-part question because we're looking at Who is shorter? That's Mandy. And how much shorter? Well, we're going to take the bigger number, 55, put it in my top quantity. Then take my smaller number, 40, put it down here. And we want to think, 40 plus what will get me to 55, or 55 minus 40 equals question mark. And when I do that math problem, I get 15. Let's take a look at one more. So a radio costs $47. A calculator costs $12 less than a radio. How much does the calculator cost? Well, I know a radio is $47. Now, $12 less tells me that the difference is 12. So I'm looking for the other quantity. Well, I do it the same way. 47 minus 12 is going to give me the answer I'm looking for. 47 minus 12. If I look at my ones place, that's going to be a 5. And I look at my tens place, 3. 35. So the calculator costs $35. So today, you're going to be doing some work with some comparison problems. So here's some rules to think about. When you get to a problem, you want to write the numbers you know into the comparison diagram. You want to put a question mark for the number you're trying to find. Remember, that question mark and that number you're trying to find is your answer. Write a number model and then solve the problem. So you're going to be working on page 137 today and 138. I want you to solve these, fill out the quantity model and the difference model, and then I want you to turn these into Canvas. Remember, we're looking for the difference. How much longer is something? How many jumps are in there? So solve these and then turn them in.